All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Brewing with Birch and Bromley with a special guest, Ben. So we're just hitting all of the alliteration here. Good friend of the show, Ben Shoemaker. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. We wanted to get a old timer in the world of UFS to talk about a few things. We got a lot of weird shit going on in the game, lots of retro, lots of play testing. We're not going to get into too much new stuff because that's fucking old stuff at this point.
Right.
But we just want to talk shop with Ben.
Let's shop the talk.
Talk, chop.
Chop.
Excellent.
Chop.
I just got back from visiting Ben. Actually, we had a nice little vacation. Watched tons of movies. The classic squad maneuver of watching tons of movies with the boys.
Best movie on the planet.
Yep, we watched Redline, incredible anime movie.
Can never watch another race.
If you love Sweet Trans Ams, that's your movie. That's your movie. We talked a little bit of UFS while we were down there. Not much. It came up in passing a couple times, and it was a lot of. This is like things were so much better, like really nostalgic vibes in my opinion. What I was getting from it was like we were talking a lot of like stuff in the past. So like what do you think was the premier time? Like I would say for the game, like if there's a lot of like in the past stuff, what do you think, Ben? What was your premier time? I guess.
I always had my favorite pet deck was the 4-hand size Weasel. So I always have that always holds a special place in my heart. But like the best time in UFS is always so weird because there's usually like one wildly oppressive deck somewhere in there. You had like that, what was it, the 8-hand size Gill that literally stun your whole board and keep it locked for like 8 turns. And that was in the same format as like the Chun-Li that just played Beeline Spike for free. There were so many, just the Summer of Evil. That was when every deck cost like $1,000 and it had to be evil or it was bad.
Right. And that was like that's like real nostalgia talk. That's like 2008, 2009 era. Yeah, is what you're thinking. There's like in that era.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. It's hard to ever say when there was ever a nostalgic period, but I'd probably say it was sometime around Gen Con when we were all at a bar.
Sure,
that was
absolutely
probably my favorite UFS era.
Absolutely.
But to honestly answer that question, I really and truly couldn't nail down when I would say was the best time for UFS. It just when I feel, but for me personally, if I had to. I think it's when there's the most diversity, when you can look at like, oh, wow, this deck's really good. Oh, wow, this deck's really good. Oh, wow. When you have,
sure. And
it's not just like, hey, this symbol is broken or this card is broken and everybody's playing it in different ways.
Sure. I can get behind that. I've been pretty much tagging along at your coattails for the better part of a decade. So I've witnessed a lot of your wins, a lot of your like, pretty much all of them. Pretty much all of them I've been there
except
for.
The first one, I think.
Except the first one. I was not there for your first character card, but I've been at every other event that you've won something at. And it's always just impressive to see the amount of fun you are having while doing it. That is in comparison to other people who are like playing as serious as they can be, really trying to go for it, really like
Jeremy, right?
Right. It's refreshing to watch the fun that you are having.
I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that what's the point of playing the cards, man? You know,
absolutely.
Like some people get super try hard about it, and that's perfectly okay. But for me, like especially now, in the past couple of years after you get a couple under your belt, you're kind of like, dude, I don't have to win. Like, if I have fun going all as far as I go, then that's what's the point. And also, it might be a little bit of mental combat,
right?
Try to tilt people a little bit with the annex, but for the most part, I'm just having fun, and that's the way I like to play. If it's not fun, I'm just like my opponent better not be having any fun whatsoever fucking ever. Otherwise, there's no point in playing.
You must always have more fun than opponent.
I mean, if you're playing an unfun deck, yes.
That is definitely the idea.
I mean, I did take what was it, the 88 card or 77 card?
77 jet, yeah. Lucky number sevens.
Yeah, we had to put as many expensive cards as we could in that deck. That was stupid but fun.
Even before Meteor, right? That was
before Meteor.
Yeah, that was when the deck was like 4 missile launchers, 4 fatalities, 4 brutalities,
Nutcrackers,
4 nutcrackers, 4 dark chitteros.
It was a riot.
It was I think the entire attack base was ultra rares. It was stupid.
We really got to get
Indine's card. You had that one Indine 0 mid stun 3 attack.
Petrifying Gaze. The 1 damage.
I remember that
attack.
I remember you coming up to me and being like, you're like check out this $500,000 deck and this card.
That was the tech.
I was like, how are you already this drunk?
You've really got to get you in on one of these night before the event deck building ceremonies. Probably they are truly magical.
I can't. I'm too much of a warrior to play something I played.
No, we just built Ben's deck. You're allowed to play.
You're allowed to play whatever you want. But right, everybody gets to chip in on what I play.
Building a Ben's deck. Sick. Understandable. Okay.
But you have to at least be drinking while you're helping. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Of course. Yeah.
We're training Bromley up to be a seasoned alcoholic.
That's the cardinal rule.
The original reason I had asked the question, not particularly looking for like what do you think is the best, but it's just with like the influx of how the game is going, like there is not a lot of pre-Jasco thinking from people.
Fair
and you've had a lot of success in the Jasco era, like we were talking about. It's pretty much primarily Jasco era success. So like you've been around for like the Red Horizons and the King of Fighters and all the stuff that these people maybe not have seen that are just recently joining.
The Shadow War.
The Shadow Wars was but Shadow War was at the beginning of the format. Yes.
That and the Tekken were
yes.
Even though I won with that crap. But I think I was thinking about this earlier when you told me to come on for the show, and I think part of the problem that Jasco is having is you have these keywords. You got like punch, kick, ranged, weapon. You got all these keywords that don't do anything. They're literally just there. They're
sure.
You're trying to like clarify things a little bit, but it doesn't really help in any way. So in the same vein, they have these keywords. They keep pigeonholing characters into keywords, and I feel like that's I don't want to say suffocating their design, but I feel like it's certainly hindering their design. Instead of being like, hey, your attack gets +2 speed, your weapon attack gets +2 speed. So now you made this character into this, oh, well, crap, now I have to look at a card and see if it has this specific keyword or else it's useless in this character for the most part.
Well, it's even worse than that because it's like a character that has a keyword trait thing usually does way more to that keyword than it would to a regular thing, right? Like it's like something that would usually give +2 speed. It's like, well, I'm going to give this tech attack +4 speed because it's a tech attack. It's totally different. Right. I can't use any attack. It's because it's this attack. And then so that character, like Jackie Briggs, right? Like it just sits around and waits until there's something busted that fits with it, and you're like, okay, well now this character is nuts.
Dust it off.
Dust it off. I mean, Satoshi's stuff, right? Like superior technique wasn't like killer, and then like in retro, superior technique is a huge problem, right? Because everything is fucking weapon.
Everything's a fucking weapon.
It's a superior technique was a fucking ballin' ass card back in the day when it
it was a lot of fun.
It was a super fun card, and it also happened to be really fucking good.
Sure. Yeah. I don't need to say it's a problem, but it's like one of those. It's a great card. It's very, very good. Lots of people play it.
It gets better with age as they keep releasing better and better weapons.
More and more weapons.
Yeah, the traits on like specific things are a little bit funky because it like you said, it pigeonholes that character and like they like kind of sit lurking, waiting for that right moment. Like Gil's whole gimmick was bad, really. Like I don't think anybody was playing him until Yu Hakusho gave him shotgun and spirit gun, right? Like I played him in teams at that Worlds, but it was like all weapons and
that's what really like sent him over the edge. And
he saw play, but that was like
it was
that
like
was
now he's good, now he's real good.
Yeah, it really pushed him over the edge. And it's not exactly the same thing, but it's similar, right? Where it's like this, they create a design like conundrum that then they have to keep an eye on because
it's like a goofy Venn diagram. It's like here is this character and its support, and it's like here is this character is this support, and all of a sudden here comes creeping in the like, hey, I like to eat butts, and it's just like
it's just in between them, combines
and then
the
all
whole
of a sudden
circle.
It just brings them in together, and it's like, holy crap, you just brought two other ones up. But again, it's the pigeonholing into the overabundance of keywords, like, which is also something funny I was thinking about with it too. Like when you talk about the early Jasco era and the end of FFG and all their fun stuff, Fantasy Flight Games was who previously owned it. They had like every deck that I made like through that had a theme, had its own theme without having all those keywords.
Yeah.
Like, turns out one of them turned into a keyword, Flash, but it wasn't a keyword back in the original days. So like the first deck I won with, like it had a theme, which was stun, and it just happened to do like that shit really well. And same thing with like before that, I had like discard decks, which I still don't think they'll ever be able to balance discard in this game. Just because you draw 7 cards in a turn, you have to be able to one shot 7 cards in a discard turn, which is insane.
Yeah.
Even though I've multiple times in my life I have tried to make discard decks work. And I mean, and to some extent, the Huitzel I won with was also a discard deck, even with it was a discard deck with Flash, which, but all of them had themes. They were like, you had stun heavy decks, or you had like, all right, I have this one way to make this giant powerful attack work, and I just gain momentum until then. But I think now that they've gone too hard into the themes, like instead of I only can think of the multi-track drifting on the trains, but like the train's a little off the rails, but not completely off the rails. It's just on 2 tracks right now. So I feel like they could make things a little more generic and tone the power level down a little bit, but that's just my person making those.
Well, you would be very happy to see the playtest cards where everything is required to have a trade. Like,
really?
Fury or stun thing gets +2 speed and burns you 5 if you don't block it. And this stun attack gets this, and this punch attack gets powerful.
How the fuck does that card, like, how is that character remotely okay?
None of those cards are okay. That's the joke.
That's, it's like when I went through the whole playtest for designing my second character, like getting +1 speed and +2 damage at response speed was evidently like the first dude to break the sound barrier. It's like, it can't happen. It's impossible, and I'm like, why? They're like, you need more cost to it. And I'm like, so I have to destroy a foundation for +3 in stats? And now they're just like giving away 5 damage.
Yeah.
Fucking
here you go.
Is your opponent a potato? Yes. Have 5 damage.
Hey, how do you feel about harnessing chaos, Ben?
Dude, I love that card. That card was one of the best fucking cards. I won with Huitzel on the back of that shit.
Okay.
That was a discard deck.
It's on a character.
Is it a commit? You have to commit the character?
Yeah, it's response commit, but the character.
Yeah, but you can do that every turn.
Yeah, the character gives his attacks + or -2 speed on his face. Play well committed.
That seems completely fair and balanced. Like,
has a stun 4 in their kit.
Okay, fair and balanced.
Yeah. But just kind of bringing back what you said, your decks that you won with did have themes, and like we've played decks that had themes to them. Yeah. But like these characters that like the support was built for didn't necessarily have like these crazy abilities that were like latched together. There was just happened like you won a Z-May and it had a lot of stun attacks, but it was stun attacks from probably 3 different people.
Yeah, it was.
You had wheel kick, you had dragon lifter. I don't know what other stun attack.
I forget what the other one was, but
but there were like 3 different supports worth of characters.
Yeah,
it wasn't all one.
Right, like, it wasn't all pigeonholed from one character.
One character wasn't. It wasn't like a stun character was like, here's all of my attacks.
Right, it was attacks from like multiple different people. You know, you really embodied the universal fighting system of it because you were borrowing from different places.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it doesn't feel like it's like you're like, okay, this is the character I'm playing. Let me take all of their support and go through that. All right, so then this. Okay, now let me see if I can find anything else that meets the criteria of this deck. Sure. Where you have to like ferret out what the cards you want versus being like, you know, it'd be good in this is this. Just play this. This would be good.
It's very starter deck-esque.
Yeah,
like if you'd buy like a theme deck, this is what you would get. You'd get Lord Raptor, where you just play all of Lord Raptor's cards in a neat little package, and like you'd be fine.
Very much. Whereas, it feels very much like the Magic starter packs, where like here's your blue deck, here's your black deck, here's your red deck.
Well, there's some characters that like you mentioned Lord Raptor, and that's a great example. But there's definitely like a lot of characters that don't need to just run their support. Like
sure.
Off the top of my head, like Cassie Cage needs to run 100% of her things. Maxie runs a lot of his things.
Kuwabara
runs 100% of his things. Raptor runs 100% of his things. But then there's like a ton of other characters that are very like wide open. I have never seen a Faye run anything other than like 2 of her foundations.
Yeah, well, to be fair, most of Faye's stuff wasn't.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like there's some characters that are like wide open.
Sure.
Faye, like on her face wants to play tech attacks, and like most people don't play tech attacks in that character.
That's another one of those characters that does a lot, like is wide open in design, where you can do a lot of things.
Yeah, and I
think a lot of the characters that do that don't necessarily have to play all their support.
Sure, Sophidia's in that category. Cassandra's in that category.
There are
a lot. Yeah, I'm just rebutting because I definitely don't like playing characters that are just playing 100% of the support. Yeah, and I'm not having any trouble like not finding characters.
Oh, sure,
that's fair. But I think that the way that they're designing characters is with that in mind, where it's like, hey, mate, this is the character, and here is this pile of puke that goes with them, and that's what you should do, and it's. Especially with like the DLC sets. Well, the DLC sets are a little bit different. They actually feel more like old UFS, where they're like, here's some supplement stuff, build into this with everybody else. You know,
it goes kind of back to the thing I was saying before, where they use this trait thing that you're talking about to like really amp the power of that ability, right?
Yeah,
like way beyond where it really should be, quote unquote, right? And then. It just creates a situation where, like, since they're not generically strong, they have to be very, very strong in their one little thing. And that's where you get the situation you're talking about, where they're like, you know, they're playing 100% of they have to play their support because there's nothing else that they can play and things like that. So I definitely agree with you that those are the characters I'm not excited to see or play against. And there's to bring it back to the retro thing, the fun thing about it is that on the other side of this, like Wily, who Jose keeps spamming, is a character that really only gives a shit about allies because of his Skull Fortress 2, right?
Yeah.
But the game has progressed, right, through, you know, the 10 years of all these sets, that there are enough ally cards where the character gets to really shine. Right?
Yeah, it only took 10 years.
It only took 10 years, yeah. And luckily there's nothing like giga busted with the ally symbol, but it's just like, it's to the point where you can play 66% of your deck having the ally keyword, right?
Yeah.
Between foundations and attacks and all that stuff. And so it could be good. It's just like it's so hard to make it really fruitful like it is for Wily everywhere, unless you have 10 years of sets, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
See, that's what I think we're saying the same here. Yeah. Same thing here is where we're saying the over specialization.
Yeah.
And it really hurts. It really hurts a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
Like in general. Like you're just like, you look at this card and it's like, oh, this says only if it's my third tech attack of the turn on a full moon, you're like, okay, let me just throw that in the trash can. I'm never going to see play.
One of the frustrations I have with Bakugo is that he only interacts with Fury attacks. And so, like, I love playing the character because of the loser foundation, right? Yeah. But, like, I have the decision of either playing Fury attacks or just ignoring what my character does, basically.
Yeah. Having a blank character that has a good foundation.
Basically blank character, right? And so, like that's the thing is that, like, I don't want UFS to be at that point. And you also don't want, on the other hand, where like there's some excitement, I guess, when you're like, you go into UFS Ultra and you're like, oh, what are all the punch, kick, and Fury attacks that Chun-Li can interact with, But like, man, like just let this character interact with everything and like balance it accordingly.
Yeah, just dial it back a touch. Yeah.
I think it is actually perfectly fine until they added 8 extra keyword traits.
Sure.
They added like charge, fury, tech, slam.
Right.
And those are like all so unnecessary. Well, flash is a keyword.
Yeah. Well,
like ability.
Yeah, right.
I'm talking about just random traits.
Yeah.
They added like ally, like all of those are so random.
Right.
And so unnecessary. Like where it was just like kick, punch, ranged, that was fine. Like kick, punch, ranged weapon. Sure.
Well,
super simple.
For fighting games, it makes sense, right? Because those are your those are how you hit your opponent.
Super simple. But like, what is a charge? Like, I get it's the idea that like some characters are charge characters, but that doesn't translate to like what like they just put it on there because they just put it on there. Like charge, fury, slam, and like
charges from Street Fighter, right? Street Fighter actually has like Bison has a charge.
Sure, they have charge abilities, but like.
Yeah.
It's
you don't need it. It could just be a punch. Or
your charge ability is still just like a ranged attack most of the time. Just keep it as ranged. Like
what's funny is you say
it's just flavor.
Yeah, looking at UFS Ultra, there are 24 different keywords in this game, and
how many of them are abilities?
All right, so you got breaker, combo, I guess desperation's an ability.
Yeah, that's an ability.
EX, flash. Gauge, multiple, powerful, reversal. I get is safe a keyword ability? Yeah.
Safe is a keyword ability.
Yeah.
Stun. Terrain. Throw.
Yeah.
And unique.
And, so we have one more. We have one more coming.
Oh, is there
another one?
Face up.
What the fuck is face up?
When it goes to your momentum, it goes face up.
Well, why didn't they just print that on the fucking? Cool. I'm all for it.
But that, like, what that means though is that 10 of those are not abilities.
Yeah, they're just words.
They're just words thrown on the card to fill in text, which just leads to more confusion.
Yeah,
and more like really shoehorning abilities for no reason.
I also think that keyword abilities are getting.
We're getting out there. We're getting out there. I mean, if you want to do like keyword abilities, that's totally cool. If you want to keep making new ones, but like they have to. Our remaining meeting time is 10 minutes.
That's okay. We can do the second one.
Okay. All right. But yeah, if like they can keep adding them, but if you're gonna do that, do like what fucking like Magic or stuff does, and just like some keywords just rotate out.
Yeah, just get rid of them. Just be like.
Okay, we're going to make a whole block of things that really like EX cards. So we're going to focus heavy on EX, and then we're going to rotate out EX later on and stuff like that. But like, yeah, I don't have a huge problem with that, but it is getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not like complaining about it. It's just like, it's just a thing that's part of the game. It's an observation.
Sure. I like to observe when cards have 10 keywords for no reason.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for my face up, kick, punch, ranged terrain combo weapon save.
We want it so they have to put powerful. Like 4.5 font on the top line of the card. Yeah, you have to bust out your magnifying glass to get in there.
I want my character to really, really like keywords, and then I want my ultra rare attack to have 7 of them for no reason, because they're going to do that.
I want to have an advantage for having better vision than Phil.
Yeah.
I want to know.
You already have better vision, so like.
What I want to know is what card has the most keywords on it.
I think 5 is the most we have. I'm pretty sure.
Ever?
I think 5 is the most ever.
I think 5 is like the line. That's where they're like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. 5 is the one.
Yeah, 5 is where it's getting ridiculous.
And it's like Nutcracker has it, Royal Poison has it, and
I think there's a couple others.
There's a couple. I think like a random Kitana card has a ton of them.
It's so silly to me. It's so silly.
Yeah, it's fun. There's no more room on Nutcracker for, and then EX is one of its fucking.
Oh yeah, and Breaker.
I do like that. Like I swear to God, they're gonna get to a point where they're like a character that super heavily focuses on how many keywords are on it, and his support is gonna be unbearable to look at. It's gonna be like, because they're gonna have like Donovan's ability where they commit for like plus 1 billion damage.
No, Cervantes 2.
Oh,
is that? Yeah, he strips away a keyboard ability and gets powerful equal to the number of keywords on the card. So he plays, and I think his attack has 5 keywords.
Oh,
yeah, the DLC Cervantes.
It should have 12 keywords. Like, come on, Jasco Games, step your game up. Give it every keyword.
Come on.
Like, I'm just waiting for that where I'm like, how many keywords does it have? They're like 7.
I just want to have like a card that says, give this card a keyword. And it already have every keyword on it.
Give it more keywords. Yeah, that's the most fun part of the Donovan loop thing is that you just keep giving it the same keywords. Like that shouldn't work that way, but it does.
Why not? Because they treat every instance of it as a new instance of it.
Sure, but my punch is a punch 1,000 times punch.
Right? You just seen JoJo, dude. Those are all punches. You're just oroing.
The thing is, it's not copying the attack; it's copying the word.
More fists.
It's not. It's the same fist. It's the same fist. You're naming punch. This is my 1,000 punch. Right?
Yeah, is this one of those situations where you have the hand with little hands instead of fingers that are all just like punching you at the
coming
same
together?
time?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Yeah.
They are sure very quick to decide things need to be like new keywords and then
and they don't utilize them
and keep going.
Thing.
I can't think of a worse keyword than charge.
Slam.
They're true, but no character has been use slams, right?
I think there was a what was the werewolf guy from Darkstalkers?
Oh yeah, I guess fucking Jay Talbane. But he worked with punch, kick, and slam.
Yeah, but he did work with slam.
But can you name a character that uses the term charge in their character ability and doesn't suck fucking dick?
Oh no, you lost me at that last.
I thought you liked Bison one, dude.
I do. He sucks.
It whether you like them or not does not change their power.
Bison sucks.
Why
Talon
did you tag me
sucks.
personally, Ben?
Sorry with your bad deck.
Yeah. No. If a character's main gimmick is charged, they just suck. They're not even playable.
Yeah, there's not even that many charges in the format.
How many? If you search charge, how many is it?
All right, I'm doing. There's 92 of them in standard.
There's 92 of them. Period. Then.
Well, that's not including the DLCs.
Oh.
So, one of them is Cherub Cyclone, which is a charge, slam, stun, one throw.
Why is that charge?
Because you gotta charge it up.
I hate charge. I think charge sucks.
Yeah.
And also, they kind of phased out slam, right? When's the last time a slam was printed?
Oh, well, at least
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker's not a slam, is it?
Yeah, it's one of its 5 keywords.
Because you can slam it up in the nuts.
You can pick it up with that one action, that Turbo Man action.
The kind of slam? You're
and charge.
It's charge. It's all of the keywords.
It's keyword spaghetti.
I hate you. You're lying to me. I cannot stand for this injustice.
Breaker 2, punch, slam, charge, EX3, dude.
Yep. Any card with slam has 20 keywords. Hold on. Lightning Strike has 20 keywords. Reborn Grinder has 20 keywords. Cherub Cyclone has 20 keywords.
Sure does. It sure does. It's
why
because they know slam by itself is not what you want.
Draining Vector, 20 keywords. Thundering Impact, 20 keywords. Thunderbreak, 20 keywords.
What about Flashy Shadow Kick? That needs
that
4
one also
keywords.
has 4 keywords. Kick, slam, charge.
Okay, but like my point still stands. Could these cards not have slam and still be the same card?
Yeah, any of these cards could have not these keywords and be the same card because nobody interacts with slam.
Tijuana Takedown has slam. Slam doesn't mean anything.
Jupiter Jazz has slam, dude.
I hate it. Slam doesn't fucking mean anything. It's such a fucking...
Yo, why isn't Grip of a Ravenous Beast a throw? He's literally gripping you, dude.
What the fuck is Grip of a Ravenous Beast?
A really bad vicious card, bro.
Oh.
It's not the low one that comes in for 10 in Yoshi.
Oh, we love that guy. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've never read this card before or seen this card. But, like, no, that was, like, one of those examples where I was talking about where they were like, slams. This is a really big Mega Man thing. Everyone's got a slam in Mega Man. Everybody's got at least one. Just fucking rotate them out with Mega Man.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
There's no reason, like, you just, here's your slam cards. All right, we don't use them anymore.
I'm personally a fan of keywords that actually do something or mean something. Like when they like this, I'm throwing it way back right here. Back in the day, you could block range attacks with attacks that had the range keyword
+0 mid blocks.
+0 mid blocks. And I was like, this is a cool use for this mechanic.
Yeah, that's what range meant. They changed that. They changed that with Mega Man.
I'm aware. You know, and it was like, all right, this keyword makes sense. It does something, but it's just like punch. Why don't you just draw a fist on it? You know, like, is he fisting something? Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah.
I mean, like in theory, the keywords are literally just for the express purpose that we're sitting here and kvetching about. Where it's like
bullshit.
So that this character can have a busted enhance that interacts with this specific keyword and prevents them from interacting with this other one. Like, like Twinkle Murdoch not being allowed to use safe attacks because they were worried about that one Dragon Flare card,
Yeah, one that blew up the entire air.
Yeah, but that's the only reason Twinkle Murdoch, like, you could be like, oh, she can't play safe attacks because she's reckless. Like, no, it's just because of Dragon Flare. Like, it's just interesting. They were just like, oh, well, she uses Dragon Flare and burns you for fucking a trillion.
Yeah, it's like burns you for a buttload. Yeah, so stupid.
And they didn't want to not give her one of the Dragon Flare symbols because gotta have evil. That's an evil character. But yeah, imagine if you just like decide, hey, maybe this mechanic is just a little too good.
Like, hold on, I got an idea, boys. What if we just came in with fuck, I lost it. I feel like that's designed sometimes. But to the same extent, if you build this character that's like, hey, I'm really broken with fury attacks. Mm-hmm. Well, now you have to balance every fury attack from now until the end of time because nothing fucking rotates in this game.
True.
Around this.
We're Yu-Gi-Oh! Now.
Or alternative notion here, dude. You could print that character that needs to be balanced around fury cards and then just never give a shit about it. And if it happens to be busted,
just ban it, dude.
Whatever, dude. Just get it out of there. You already made your money from that set, dude.
True. Look at Libra of Souls. We already made our money. Ban all the ultra rares. Fuck it. Libra of Souls, everything's banned because they already made all their money. Who gives a shit? They're gonna ban fucking Meteor next, I'm sure. Because why not?
Yeah, that card's see, that's one of those cards.
I like Meteor. It just has too many keywords.
It's too good.
It just doesn't need Breaker 2. Like, what the fuck does that have Breaker 2 for?
Powerful.
It could have powerful, but not powerful and Breaker.
I don't think it needs powerful.
I think powerful's fine.
I
think the Breaker's stupid.
It could have been a utility card, and something else could have been a dunk. We already talked about this.
Yeah, I think it could be the utility card and the dunk. I don't give a shit about that.
One of the other cards could have been the dunk.
Nah, the rest of her support can just suck, dude. Fuck it.
All right, my bad. All right. So Ben, we hang out a little bit and play like Destiny and talk shit about our schlongs in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Cyberdicks, yeah.
Cyber penis. Which, Ben, of course, has the largest cyber penis. It is known.
It is known. This guy is a collector of dildos.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I ran out of arms. Sorry, I got to go this way.
He's gotta go the other way.
This guy is a known collector of dildos.
But Ben literally comes into the Discord and then also arrives. But he comes into the Discord and he's like, oh, Jose and Bromley playing UFS. See you later.
Every time, yeah.
Beep boop. Go to Piglet's Discord.
Every time.
I mean, to be fair, who wants to sit around in here like, I'll play this, make a check, give it +1 damage, pass.
Sure. No,
+1
nothing.
speed, pass.
Nothing wrong. No, as if that's how the game. Dude, I wish the game.
You're right. It's
I
more
wish
like
the
this.
game was.
Yeah,
like
I wish the game was +1/+1s now. I'll give my attack 7 damage.
It's Bromley with the pass, and then Jose. I'll give it 8 damage.
Jose's not Mexican.
L damage, is it? Esponja.
El
Bob
Esponja.
Esponja.
No, it's
Esponja.
all right. But
Sorry.
my point remains is what does Jasko have to do to get Ben Shoemaker to play the game again?
Jose gives things speed, guys.
Just give them speed.
Push to speed.
Push to speed.
Get me back in a building. I can't play UFS like online. It just doesn't. After playing this game for fucking what 12, 14 years
An
now,
eternity.
Shit.
Yeah,
Like
old
way too
farts.
fucking long. I can't play in front of a computer. It's just not the same. I can't look my opponent in the eye, wink at them, drink my beer, blow fucking a cigarette out on them, and be like, pass.
I mean, you could drink the beer and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah,
You just can't interact with them
Yeah, you can't assault them with your vape, bro.
Bruh.
True.
I can't stare a guy. This is I can't drink 3 different drinks of fucking different alcohols on the table at the same time to intimidate my opponent and then give clones life and watch my opponent explode internally. It's just not the same gratification online. Just hearing somebody go,
Okay. So what Jasko has to do is invest in the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And
Just
then,
or give me a hazmat suit and I'll fucking show up at somebody's house.
and then host events. Okay, because I figured it was just that you really only play 4 events. I don't think you're like a testing sort of guy.
No,
Ben played in the weeklies though, right? Like
Yeah,
when you
I played
guys
in the
were having
weeklies.
them.
pretty
Okay.
regularly.
Okay.
I just it just got, I think the reason COVID stopped our weeklies more than anything else.
Sure.
But at the same time, you get that we had that big content drought where there wasn't a whole lot coming out, and
Right.
it's like we got 3 months until something that I'm gonna go play in. I'm like, I don't need to play every week at that point,
Right.
Like I could sit down with the new cards and go, yes, no, this, and just put them together. I've got enough experience where I can look at most stuff and just be like, okay, got it, understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I personally don't need to spend as much time as I used to, and I don't want to either.
Right.
It's a lot of reading, man.
It is a lot of reading. Okay, but that's important, because there's a lot. Jesco has lost a lot of players.
I mean, COVID's fucked everything for a lot.
But there's other games are putting out releases. Other games are still having events online, and like Jesco has done a few events, and they utilize retro. Like it's not that they're not trying. It's just like you're a player who has effectively stopped playing UFS for a little bit, right? And you intend to come back when there's an event, but like maybe they could do something right now.
I'm trying to think what would entice me if we had UFS Beer Olympics. You have to before you play an attack, you have to drink half a beer and flip cup, and then you can play an attack for your turn, and then you're on a timer to do that
for each form. Yeah, you want to go to time every fucking round, dude.
Let's fucking go, man. I can put them away.
Call it turbo.
Turbo alcohol.
It would make Turbo a better format.
Yeah, if you had to
I'm glad it's not a format anymore, by the way.
Yeah, if you had to pound a beer in between every rounds minimum, maybe 2, and then drink one during rounds, then I want everybody on the even level.
I like how Ben is minimum. Seven beers is nothing for Ben Shoemaker. Meanwhile, Bromley's in round 2.
We drank a case of Miller Lite in one night.
Yeah, Hey,
Oh, Bubs.
Hey,
The
big
boy. It's the boy.
It's a big one.
But yeah, I think that the connotation is always, and like it happens every single time between events, that Ben Shoemaker is never playing UFS again.
I quit. I'd scream that.
It's always like, I quit. I'm done. But like, I feel like you're gonna keep playing as long as you're having fun with friends and stuff. Like, I think it's the same as a lot of the people. Like me particularly. Like, it's not like I'm trying to win every event. Like, I like doing well, so I play like real decks. But it's not like, it's more of like I go these things to have fun.
Yeah, see, that's the same way for me. Like, playing online is like, pure competition. That's
sure,
and I just, what have I got to prove? I don't really give a shit if I win an online tournament or not. Like, I don't really care if I win in person or not. Like, if I'm having fun, that's what it's all about. But being glued to my chair for like 8 hours,
oh God, it's like 13.
Listening to somebody being like,
listen.
I took a 5.
It's like 13, and sometimes people eat cheeseburgers into their mic.
Sometimes they eat cheeseburgers. But the other half of this is I can sit in my chair in my underwear building a Warhammer figure as my opponent's like thinking out like, oh, how do I not die to the shotgun? And I'm just like, I pass. Build my witch elf,
Yeah, it is kind of nice. I will say that. I couldn't tell you how many times that I've been playing UFS where I'm like, okay, board situation, got it, pass.
Yeah, and then you chill there. It's just pass forever.
It's pass. You're just like, oh, I'll just nap. Wake me up when you do something.
Exactly.
I think we're in a pretty similar boat. Like, I'll test with Bromley, and that's about the extent of my playing online, and it's very infrequent. But I like talking about UFS.
Yeah,
I'm a talker.
He's a fucking talker.
I cannot, like, I'll play like 1 or 2 games fairly, like occasionally on Tabletop Simulator, but like I cannot for the life of me get myself like in the mindset to attempt to play in an event. Like, I tried to play in like the Canadians run like a weekly online thing, and I got like a bye in the 3rd round. I was like, thank God it's over. I played 2 games of UFS and was like, I can't do this online anymore. This is killing me.
It's just different, It's like,
it's different.
I guess we're pulling the old fogey card here and being like, back in my day, we actually had cards.
It's just because you're not playing against Jose all the time. That's the problem you guys are having.
Every time I play against Jose, he just pulls out his try-hard deck when I'm like first draft of my bad mill deck, and he's like,
"What if against my when?"
Yeah, what if I pull out Lord Raptor and you don't get any interaction?
So the difference is that he played me 42 times before he played you once, right? So we went through 80 iterations of his stupid decks, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play just this deck that Bromley and I split games with all the time, and it'll be fun." And then you're just like, "Here's my iteration 0," and then he's just like, all over the fucking board,
Fuck Jose. More of the story.
You just gotta do what I do with Jose whenever I just want to have fun. I put a deck in front of him, right? Like, I'm just like, you play this, and I'm playing this, and we're gonna have fun.
All I do is build bullshit decks, though. None of the decks. I wouldn't have fun playing against my own decks.
Give him some other bullshit, or ask me, and I'll give him something.
Yeah, probably put something bad in front of him. Give him the Bakugo.
Like, I want to play meme. I want a meme format. Like I would play in an online meme format where you could like, oh God, I don't know how you would balance that in any way. But if everything was like stupid and funny, it's like, yes, I kill with this one attack off this super convoluted combo of 7 cards.
Yeah, I've always like kind of had fun with like what if you had a format where everybody was playing the same attacks and like you always had one attack in your hand and it had to be the same attack. Like what if you had a format where everybody had a Nutcracker in their hand every turn? Right.
That's it.
You just like, okay, you can RFG a card out of your hand to put a Nutcracker in there.
No. It's just you drop your hand size and then you add a Nutcracker into your hand.
Oh God!
And then at the end of the turn, that Nutcracker goes to the side of the table, and you draw it the next turn. Like something like that.
Goes to the discard pile.
Or like, you can even be a throw. Like, what if we did that with the Vicious Madness? Like, that's the Vicious Madness format, where like at the beginning of your turn, add a Vicious Madness to it. Unpack a Libra pack because there's going to be 18 cents since all the URs are banned, and pull out a Vicious Madness and add it to your hand. It shouldn't even be sleeved. Just be like, all right, I'm just gonna
There's no way Libra's packs would be worth 18 cents if they're still trying to sell Red Horizon 1 boxes for like $60.
It was nutty.
It's a scam.
It's a scam, boys.
Ben, you remember the year they gave away Red Horizon boxes at Worlds for an entry as the entry?
Yeah,
like you'd enter, they'd hand you a Red Horizon box.
Dude, I think I walked away from that event with like 12 boxes.
I was actively throwing them in the garbage, playing catch with them in the hallway.
I remember we were playing. I'm like, go deep. We were fucking throwing football boxes of Red Horizon.
Jesus Christ.
See, you can't do that in the online format, bro. I'm like, that's why you can't.
You can't do that at Worlds anymore, unfortunately, either, because they hold it at a con and not in the fucking
back alley of the
fucking hotel's convention room.
Dude, I'm like, I miss the fucking hey, we're getting kicked out of here. We gotta go play somewhere else.
We gotta go play at a bar.
We gotta go finish this tournament in the lobby of Denny's. We gotta go finish our World's Finals at the Las Vegas fucking at South Point's deli
bar at fucking 2:00 in the morning because we're getting kicked out. I definitely threw a chair in that card hall because I was like, I didn't deserve to get out of semis. I threw a chair. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I love it.
I see. You don't like that. I mean, there's also the, playing online. You can't get a read on people. It's like watching a dog. It's like, hey, do you want the ball? And the dog's like, yeah. I'm sorry, shit. But, playing somebody and they're like, draw up and they're like, you're like, okay, I got a little bit better read about what you're doing. I don't know. You
lose the human element.
All right. Yeah. New solution. We all get VR headsets.
Yeah, we can all play. I mean, you can play TTS on VR.
Oh my god! And we just have a camera looking at the front of our VR.
You gotta have the camera on our eyeballs, right? So you have this going on. We're just like,
oh, dude, no, I don't want that because somebody will look down to try to look at their deck, and you'll be like, "You're not wearing any clothes."
You just see some guys slinging.
We'll have the cyberpunk experience right there.
Just dong hanging out of the.
That's a way to intimidate,
Oh, dude, if we did something like that, I would tape 18 hot dogs to my legs. You look down, you just see this fucking honking strap of hot dogs around my legs with duct tape.
Yeah, you pull a Robert Plant and just stuff a giant cucumber down your jeans.
I'm actually just gonna put my whole shoe in my shoe sticking out the front of my pants.
No, that's yeah.
We've gone off the rails here.
Speaking of Jose, and to kind of bring this back to you, Ben, Jose is the biggest proponent of Ben Shoemaker in retro. He loves Ben Shoemaker 1. Retro card.
Whoa,
that's his shit.
On. It was me. I built those things.
Yeah, and then you literally never played it, and Jose talks about it all the time. So I guess it's Jose being the biggest proponent.
Jose did actually play it. I was going to play that event. I asked him to play it because I was not playing because of personal reasons.
So, I'm a huge fan of my first character card. I got almost everything I wanted out of that card, except I had the abilities flipped, and it would put cards into your momentum instead of making them discard them. So it would get around all the anti-discard at the time. But someone who will not be named, Jeremy Ray, sandbagged the shit out of me on that one. And he was the only person that sandbagged that shit. It was so good. But, again, still a proponent of that card. I think if you could find a way to effectively loop blocks with my character and had another like charisma effect of just, you know, both players discard a card, then it would be very viable. But I think again, like we were talking earlier, the format's gotten a lot faster. Like when you're throwing 10 damage attacks on two that are like 6 speed high, it's like, well, fuck me, you know, like a guy with 18 vitality is not going to make it very long. So
you get a lot of the character gets a lot of mileage out of like Botan support, where you force your opponent to discard cards, but they draw them back.
Yeah.
But they're all free effects. So you're just generating free momentum. So you're not getting as much out of the discard effect, but you are getting a lot out of the momentum generation. Is pretty much, I think, what was found out when we built that deck. Like,
and if there was another card that did something along the lines of Garrett Brett's, what is it? It's Garrett's card that does the bunch of speed for every card in your discard pile.
Yeah,
or am I mistaken? I don't remember.
That is one of Garrett's.
I wonder if what's the fat tiger guy?
Yakko.
Hold on. If we're going down this rabbit hole, boys, we're going all the way down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
Jose ended up playing an error build because we tried Death, but we just couldn't kill Goro because he had too much health. Death couldn't kill anything with more than 26 health. But Air, we just played Fumas and other multiples, and then we just
the Taki sport. Yeah,
the Taki UR is just for like 40 in Ben.
Yeah, I mean that seems pretty good.
Yeah. Dump their hand and throw it for 70,
and then heat them. Yeah, it was kind of like a hand tax / discard deck, which works great together. Unfortunately, he did not do well because 18 health is very easy to kill.
Yeah, I mean that's again always going to be that problem with that deck is it's so. I mean, you can generate all the momentum in the world, but it does not matter if you cannot survive.
Yeah. The problem that we were having with the Death deck, or that I had, because I tested the Death one a lot, is that like I'm poking really hard and getting a lot of momentum, and I could defend pretty well. But like once you get rid of their hand, the next turn they drop the hand size.
Yeah, and it's like
and you got to start over.
You got to start over again.
We always called that deck back when it was standard legal, the Abacus, because you were if you didn't do your math exactly right, you pretty much lost the game, you know, on a potential kill turn every turn, you know?
Right.
And so that was probably the most thinking intensive deck I've ever had to play. And I loved that deck. It was so much fun.
Dude, power split, brash and aggressive was my favorite iteration we had to that deck.
It was fun. It was fun. It wasn't like the greatest thing in the world, but it was super fun. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Untap, respond, and fucking give damage.
Man, yeah, I don't like I said, I don't know if there's any like you got to have just a giant powerful attack or giant.
Yeah, you need. That's really what you need
to make that character work now. Because back in the day, I killed people with, was it Dragon's Flame? Well, I got to – if you've never seen Piercing Howl, Bromley, you should look that up.
I've definitely seen Piercing Howl.
That's legal in retro. It's a legal card.
Yeah.
I've definitely encountered Piercing Howl.
There was another card in Shadow War that was basically like, hey, if your attack deals damage, add a card from your momentum to your hand for an E commit. You go Piercing Howl, E commit, blow it up to make them discard a card, let it stick, it goes in, comes back to your hand, and you would play as many as you had, and that's how you got around bonking people for like big fat boys.
Right.
Yeah, you got the ability to loop the attacks.
Yeah,
was better than just having to raw draw like 7 attacks and hope.
Yeah.
Right. The Cowboy Andy game plan, as it were.
Yeah, and then there was another card that got damage equal to the printed damage of your entire card pool.
Right.
Oh, really?
Which was, I'm trying to remember the name of that card. I'm going to look it up. There it is. All right. Shadow War. I know it was an air card. It was, who's the, I'll find it. It was a Temujin card. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it was Dragon's Flame. It's
oh yeah, that was his other combo attack that kind of saw play. Yeah,
it was combo mid high attack plus X damage, percentage damage of all of your attacks in your card pool.
We need something like that. That's a cool effect. Yeah, I kind of like that.
I like that card. It was the best part about it had a +1 mid block, and that's back when the
that was broken back then. Yeah,
the fucking Red Horizon had that ranged. You could pick up a ranged block after you blocked with it.
Oh, Deadly Precision.
Yes. That's how I made that deck work back in the day. And it was just like, hey, I'll block with this +1 mid and pick it back up. You want to keep going?
Well, so like right now I think I'm second in points for this invitational they're having for retro. But like mathematically it is possible for me to not make the top 16 if like everybody else does really, really well.
Yeah.
So I have to enter this event and win one match because I have to work. I have to run a gig from 5 to 10.
That's
so
fucking hilarious.
So I'm gonna enter with something degenerate, and I'm gonna win one match. I'm gonna ruin somebody's day, and then drop out of there.
Dude, win as many games as you can, then drop out so you can ruin multiple days.
Just
ruin everybody.
I might do that.
You could always take I might sponsor the Ben Shoemaker challenge again. I did that for PTC. I said that I was like, anybody that wants to play my character, I will give them a copy of my character, but you have to play my character for the PTC. And if you win, I forgot what I was giving away. I was like, if you win the PTC with my character, I gave something else out on top. I forget what it was, like a blowjob or something. Who knows?
Of course, dude.
But I called it the Ben Shoemaker challenge, and nobody took me up on it.
There was an Eligor challenge way back when with Luke Butler. Luke Butler had a big thing for Eligor, and I was like, I'll play Eligor at the next PTC, but if I make tops, you got to buy my plane ticket to the next PTC.
No,
and, he was like, yeah, that's okay. And then some. I think he told somebody, because I wasn't telling anybody shit. And then it got out in the Shameless Discord, and everybody was like, oh, there's an Eligor challenge, and he'll do it for anybody. And I was like, wait, no.
Wait, this wasn't for anybody.
Luke Butler is not going to pay for everybody's plane ticket. This is just a conversation that I had with him.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it had a bunch of people just randomly playing Eligor for a month. And then Luke Butler ran away and got married. So
true. Ran away in his loafers.
His beautiful loafers. Luke Butler had the funniest thing. I was playing against Rich Svoboda, and I was really upset because he got 4 Shadow Inheritances out, as one does. And I lost that game 3, and then Luke, but I don't know what. I guess I must have been upset, but Luke came up to me and he was like, "Chris, you are the nicest player I've ever met in my life." And I was, and it was the only time I've ever been immediately from salty as fuck because I lost my top 8 match at Worlds to just oh, Luke Butler, you're so nice. Melt in my heart. And then he handed me my mat and my 1 box that I got.
I fucking hate losing so much. I'd rather not make top cuts than losing them. I get so mad.
Dude, the only thing that makes me mad, losing in top cuts, is making misplays. It's that's if I just get sacked, it's fuck. Oh well, you know. And, it also depends on your opponent's attitude about the whole thing. It's I beat the shit out of you. Yeah, you never checked an attack in fucking 3 games. No, buddy, you're fucking clearly
you did it.
5
did it. You did it.
Ball out.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about that a lot recently because I have really terrible luck when I play this game. I'll not draw attacks for 4 turns, and then when I go in,
design.
Hey, you can say what you want, but I'm just saying, like nobody talks about how much luck is a part of this game. Right?
I talk about it all the time.
It's such a huge part of the game, and like people talk about skilled players all the time, and and the funniest thing to me is that anybody who talks about Mark Tyner, right,
call him a sack.
They call him a sack. It's just he's incredibly lucky, right, all the time, right?
To be fair,
he's lucky and good, and that's why he's dangerous.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's so crazy to me that luck is a stat that you have to pump. In UFS, you gotta pump your luck stat.
I am not lucky, so I have the opposite, where I have to juice my stats so high to counteract the luck.
I think it was Sam Tate. Sam Tate told me a story where he was like, it was Sam Tate, so he was talking with his drawl, and he was like, I watched Phil Birch check 3 ones and and then still kill somebody. So I know I'm not as good as that guy. And it was a really funny story. But yeah, that happens sometimes where you just fuck it. That was the when I for the Atlanta boys, and I thought Phil was an Atlanta boy for
honorary.
I get counted.
He's an honorary Atlanta boy. But I was like, man, those guys just play bad checks all the time. And in my play group, I was the only guy playing bad checks. So I was like, okay, maybe it is a real strat then.
It's you can't check bad if you don't check them. Fuck them.
Statistically, they are improbable for you to check.
Yes.
If you act like they don't exist, then you just get better. You're just better at it.
Dude, Keenan does that shit to me all the time. He's like, how are you playing nothing but, like, these when you know you have, like, 2s and 1s in your deck? I'm like, I only got 4, and 2 of them are in my hand. So
That's true. But sometimes you get the Ben Shoemaker Bromley match where we go fourth. It's like, try to build a 3-diff, check a 1. I try to build a 2-diff, check a 1. Next turn, try to build another 1, check a 1. A 3-diff, check a 1. Oh, okay, all right.
Sometimes, it'll straight up bite you in the ass. Like, I think God, what was it? It was like Worlds at Vegas a year or 2 ago when I was playing Akuma.
Yeah.
And I checked, like, over the course of 6 rounds, I think I checked 20 coffee sambas. I kept count. I literally had it written in my notebook, was like coffee samba checked count. And I would just sit there, and I checked 6 of them on turn 1 going first. Which was awesome.
That's not great.
Yeah, I was just like, okay.
That took me a second because I was like, wait, going first in one game?
No, not in one game. I checked 20 of them at once.
Yeah. Like, conversely, I feel like I could count the amount of times that checking Coffee Samba at Worlds while playing in 2 events with Scorpion on one hand that it cost me, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, one hand that times that it was actually impactful. Like,
sure.
And that wasn't like me building a deck. Like, Vega had all the bad checks. So that deck was like, I had to optimize the early builds. Scorpion was just like, 2-diff, 2-diff, 1-diff, 0-diff. Did I check a 1? All right, well, those are the only ones in the deck. So, like, that's the only way I can be fucked.
True.
You just gotta, like, playing like a baby doesn't fucking get you any advantage.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about, again, we're back to deck design. And I'm not pointing at you, probably, but I am pointing at you on my screen. Mm-hmm. But, like, if you build we talk a lot about luck, but it's also a lot of, like, optimizing your deck to minimize luck.
Sure.
You know, at the same vein, it's, you know, when you know how many of each check is in your deck and whatnot, and you're like, you're like, I got about 40 cards left and there's 2 1s left in it. So it's a fucking 5% chance that I'm going to hit this. Fuck it. I don't care. I got about 10 cards and before I'll even think about hitting one of those. If you play like they're not there, minimize your odds, yada, yada, yada. But top cuts are always just you just got to be a little bit hotter than your opponent. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, we do talk about Mark Tyner being a sack a lot, right? But if you think about the decks that he's done well with and that he's won with, there are a lot of very grindy, very sculpty decks where, like,
minimal risk.
He gets a lot of turns to do this sculpting. So, like, when he goes into a turn and he revokes you 3 times, he's not sacking you.
Yeah.
He's just had those cards.
Yeah. I think it's funny that people call Mark a sack because Mark has won with, like, 2 consecutive control characters that don't need to sack, right?
Yeah, he is very good.
Like, I definitely kid around with him because he like, I was playing Quantum and he checked the pink gi, like, going second or something like that, and had the answer to my character very early on. But like, that's an anomaly, and not like he killed me not because of Pinky. He killed me because he's a very good player. Like, that's I definitely agree with you, and I think it's funny that people because if Mark Tyner were like the sack god, he would be playing aggro decks.
No, he's won with Shinnok, Gil, Cassandra, Gil.
So he's playing nothing.
And he just won with Kevin Broberg.
And he won a PTC with Selinka, which was an aggressive deck for sure.
So one aggressive deck and everything else is the control grind fest.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it's funny because Kevin is the first 7-hander in those in that category of thing. Oh no, Cassandra was a 7-hander. I don't really consider that a 7-hand size deck though, because it was fucking like 8 attacks.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's the same concept of, like, the grindy control deck. It's like the same thing when we were playing Bromley with the Akuma. That everybody was like, "Oh, that's so aggro. It's just fucking."
No, it was a control deck. Yeah.
It was a control deck that
could blow you out.
It could blow you out at any point,
Yeah.
and that's what it was designed to do. It was just like, if you swing into me and don't kill me, which is
you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose,
Yeah.
and because then all of my stuff is super fucking cheap.
Yeah.
So. That's the way I played it, at least.
Yeah. The other thing, I think Ben actually thinks I make terrible decks.
Oh, I honestly, I've only really.
You think he thinks that?
Because this is like the 8th time that Ben has been like, Bromley, if you design your decks better.
Yeah.
I have ratios, Ben.
I think your decks could be more focused.
Sure.
But I don't think they're bad. But I've seen much more of them than Ben has.
Yeah, I would have to actually like sit down with you and talk with you, like do a fucking episode on this. Like, you guys were talking about doing deck design, and just sit down and talk with somebody through their deck and be like, okay, why are you playing this? Is there nothing better? Okay, and then just go.
We got to get this guy on the deck review videos. We got to do.
There you go.
Dude, I love analyzing people's decisions.
Like, I love it. I love it. We got to do that. For I don't know how many people actually even submitted deck lists to our Patreon yet.
A dick list? Are we back to Cyberpunk?
It's just Nick Reagan. Nick Reagan.
Really? Nobody else submitted one?
You submitted an Ava deck.
I knew that one. He beat my ass with that deck, by the way. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty sick.
It's an Ava deck. I mean, and he gets that one attack. But
you get like Gorefest now.
Gorefest, yeah. Gorefest is the attack. Yeah. No, but I have ratios. I think about my ratios, and like I play a lot more like options than most people, but that's because I don't like playing for the turn 2. I want to control.
No, that's
sure.
Respectable. But then like I said, we'd have to sit down and peel your deck apart and look at everything for me to make a real decision about your deck.
Remember the first time I showed you a deck, you were immediately like, "Why are you running this card? Why are It was my
Fade.
It was my Fade deck. I walked up to you and I was like, "Hey, you're Ben Shoemaker," because I saw you at the Atlanta PTC, and I was like, I want you to look at this deck. I think it's really funny because I knew you played that Yellow Devil deck, and I thought that deck was hilarious. So I was like, I wanted to show Ben Shoemaker my stupid Sacred 8 Fate.
Yeah.
And then
I was like, this deck's cool.
Then you were like, why are you only? It was why were you only running 3 balanced fighters?
Yeah.
That was the question, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like the optimal Fate card. That card literally just generates you momentum.
Oh yeah, it sure was. I don't. It was just pretty funny. It was very funny.
I'm here to ask the hard hitting questions, man.
Of course.
Who's at 11?
I mean, I think we pretty much do that at this point. Like, I think I feel the same. I feel in that role for Bromley pretty well. I'm this straight man in his deck design.
What are you talking about?
Anytime he builds stuff, I'm like, why are you doing this?
No, I will sit there and I will show you a deck, and you'll be like, yeah, it seems good. But then I'll actively be deck building, and you'll be like, not that. Like, when I'm actively deck building, you're incredibly helpful. But when I put a deck in front of you, you're like eyes glaze over, and you're like,
yeah, it's because I can't see all the cards. I don't know what you're fucking like.
I want to look at this. Like, come on.
It's so much easier in person. I hate building shit online.
Yeah.
And UFS Ultra is useless now.
Yes.
Can we talk about how useless it is? Is there a different deck building site, probably?
Well, so I know Kevin Broberg is working on something, but like the French guy that runs UFS Ultra is a hospital administrator. So
yeah, he doesn't have time for UFS Ultra.
Yeah, we're good. I'm not upset at that guy.
Yeah, he's a little busy this year.
Keep safe and be.
Yeah, all right. Good job, good job, French guy. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not disappointed.
Yeah, not even a little bit. Whatever. What he's gonna add the DLCs? Like, whatever, dude.
True.
Just proxy it.
True. Fine. It's just much easier to build with it.
It's not like he stopped paying for the servers either. Like, they're up.
True. It's still up. Yeah.
But sorry, I was just looking at the case of Red Bulls behind you, Phil.
I get like one of those a month.
Yeah. Well, you got like an Amazon subscription for
It's cheaper, dude.
Fair enough.
You get 24 of them for $45. Those are $3 a piece.
All right, yeah. All right.
Are you reselling them on the corner, bud?
No, dude, but I guess like I'm getting half off pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to.
Even if I buy them 2 for $5, I'd spend way more money than I spend on them. Yeah.
We learned something today.
We did.
Red Bull on Amazon's way cheaper.
Red Bull on Amazon.
Do we have any final questions for Ben? Final thoughts for Ben? Final thoughts that you have, Ben?
I have thoughts, but they're not rated for the internet.
Yes. Rated PP Simulator 2077.
They're big PPs.
That is true. No, it's always fun to get on here and talk with you guys. And like I said, I'm totally open to what's a good word for this? Not shit on.
Commiserate.
Yeah, I was actually leaning towards that, to be honest. But dissect someone's deck list.
I'm totally
Sure,
down
man.
for that.
We'll bring him on for the decimating of Nick Reagan's Ava deck.
Well, see, you guys already have some experience for that deck, so I could be the neutral party.
That's true. I also played against that deck at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Keenan Meadows is our patron.
Yeah.
have-
Keenan came in too.
Oh,
Simp
that's
for
sweet.
Keenan.
We got some. We got some of the boys.
The boys.
That's pretty cool.
They're
Nice.
buying us beers.
The finest of beers. Oh, I do have one final thought.
Heavy.
Hey, make sure you like, simp, and subscribe.
Like, simp, and subscribe, boys.
And that's it. Yeah, that's it.
I'm working on another T-shirt. We got a logo now.
We've got a logo.
Ooh.
Once again, Patreon,
Patreon.
fucking Twitch. Hit us up.
Patreon?
I'm gonna be commentating retro on our channel
Yeah.
this weekend.
Oh. Cool.
Did
Yeah,
you talk
I'm
to
gonna-
Tim Friedleep to make sure you got all the stuff you need for that?
I'll just message him. I'll message him. It'll be fine.
Sick.
Thanks for watching another episode, guys. Once again, thanks Ben for joining us, and take it easy, boys.
Drink beers. I feel like